The turning point arrives the day a person realizes the world owes nothing, and comfort is the first enemy to defeat. That realization does not come gently. It arrives through disappointment, through pressure, through being forced to handle responsibilities that no one warned you about. There is a moment where innocence burns away and the illusion of fairness dies. Life becomes a mirror that reflects exactly who you are, not who you pretend to be. In that moment, a path opens that few are willing to walk. A path that demands discipline instead of excuses, effort instead of emotion, direction instead of drifting. The shift hurts, but it marks the beginning of a deeper transformation. The old version of yourself cannot follow you forward, and leaving it behind is the first sacrifice. Growing requires confrontation, not with the world, but with everything inside that keeps you stagnant. It forces you to face the laziness you denied, the fear you avoided, the potential you wasted. The internal war is never glamorous. It happens in mornings when you don't want to get up, in nights when your mind drags you into doubt, in hours when no one is there to push you. This battle defines who rises and who breaks. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you take a step toward a new identity. Each time you refuse to run from difficulty, you carve a stronger version of yourself. Progress is earned through self-control long before it is seen by the outside world. Responsibility becomes the weight that shapes your spine. You begin to understand that direction will not simply fall into your hands. You create it. Every task that feels overwhelming becomes a test. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. Handling pressure turns into a daily requirement rather than an occasional burden. You learn to solve problems instead of complaining about them. You realize no one is coming to save you. And through that realization, self-reliance grows. The person who carries their own load without seeking praise becomes unstoppable because nothing external can break what is built internally. Isolation enters the journey not as punishment but as preparation. When distractions fade, clarity sharpens. Without constant noise, you begin to understand your values, your goals, your direction. Solitude forces refinement. It reveals the habits holding you back and the behaviors that push you forward. In that quiet space, you learn how dangerous wasted time is. You learn how expensive procrastination becomes. You learn that every minute spent avoiding the work compounds into years of regret. What once felt like loneliness transforms into awareness, and that awareness becomes the blueprint for your rise. Pain becomes a mentor that speaks without mercy. The lessons it gives cannot be learned any other way. Letdowns harden your resolve. Failures expand your capacity. Betrayal sharpens your intuition. Pain shows you who you are when everything familiar is stripped away. It breaks the illusions you built around yourself, leaving behind only the truth. And from that truth, you rebuild stronger. The process is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Growth demands shedding old identities like worn-out skin. Every scar becomes a reminder that you endured what others ran from. Consistency becomes the currency of transformation. Not motivation, not inspiration. Consistency. The repeated choice to act even when emotions resist. The choice to maintain standards even when no one is watching. The choice to push forward even when progress feels invisible. Over time, these choices forge discipline that cannot be shaken by stress or temptation. Each small victory compounds. Each small commitment builds momentum. People who rely on emotion burn out quickly. Those who rely on repetition evolve steadily into someone unrecognizable from who they used to be. Confidence rises, not from loud declarations, but from evidence. The evidence of work done, the evidence of promises kept, the evidence of obstacles overcome. Real confidence is quiet because it does not need to be announced. It is felt in posture, in tone, in the calm way you respond under pressure. It comes from surviving trials that once terrified you. When you trust yourself in difficulty, you stop begging others to believe in you. Validation becomes irrelevant. You move with certainty because you earned the right to. Purpose begins to guide your decisions. What once mattered stops mattering. What once distracted you stops reaching you. You start valuing peace over pleasure, progress over comfort, intentional action over temporary highs. You learn to delay gratification because your vision stretches beyond the present moment. This shift changes everything. It alters the company you keep, the habits you practice, the environment you choose. When your life aligns with your direction, distractions fall away naturally. Purpose becomes a quiet compass that always points forward. Momentum emerges after months of unseen work. Suddenly, the tasks that once drained you become routine. The goals that felt out of reach come closer. The identity you struggled to build becomes natural. People around you notice the shift, even if you never mention it. Your presence becomes heavier, clearer, more focused.